Almonte's Key Food, proudly serving communities throughout Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island for over 30 years. When you shop Key Food, you'll always find fresh products, great weekly specials, and exceptional personalized service. Visit at any of their Key Food stores at 8235 153rd Avenue, Lindenwood, New York, 935 Rosedale Road, Valley Stream, New York, and 6620 Avenue U, Brooklyn, New York.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Good morning. Welcome to the Dick Morris and Doug DePiro show, sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group.
Good morning, Dick Morris. It's not morning anymore, actually.
Yeah, well, we're 6 minutes late.
Good afternoon.
The war continues in the Middle East, the U.S.-Iranian war, but the economy is not paying any attention.
No.
It's having no effect at all on the economy. And Trump, with his increased oil production and with his determination in keeping the embargo going, is affecting the rest of the world, but not affecting the United States.
The economy added 172,000 new payroll jobs in May, the Bureau of Labor statistic reported, as business shrugged off the energy supply shock from the war with Iran. The unemployment rate remained at 4.3%. Forecasters had expected payroll job growth to slow to 85,000. Instead, it accelerated, and previous months' job gains were revised up. Dan North, the senior economist with Alliance Trade America, told the Washington Examiner that the report is a pretty strong indication that the labor market is healthier than economists had thought. He also pointed out strong reports in the preceding months where job growth was over 100,000. Not just beat expectation, but rock and roll, North said. 3 months in a row, it's been really impressive. Friday's report is likely to provide a shot in the arm for President Trump, who has been weighing down by historically how low consumer sentiment. The conflict with Iran and the halt of oil tankers through the strait darkened the economic picture over the course of May. So it doesn't seem that that's doing much damage to our guy.
Well, the amazing thing was that, if you recall, during the last year, the continuous focus, and McLaughlin, the pollster, was constantly telling me, the answer is to pass the Trump tax cuts now, so they'll take effect before the midterms.
You mean big, gigantic, beautiful thing? Yeah.
He said the big problem in the last cycle was that we didn't pass the tax cuts until the end. And the result was that the economy was not good going into the election. And the focus now was incredibly on passing the tax cut early, so it will take effect as before the election. And that's exactly what's happening. Because of the tax cut, because of the enormous economic growth it's stimulating, the war in Iran seems almost an afterthought and really does not appear to be doing much to affect the economy at all.
Well, I really believe people realize that he's getting rid of this nuclear problem, bomb. And even people that don't like him have to be saying, at least maybe my kids won't get blown up, type of thing.
And while that's going on, the American factory worker is experiencing an economic renaissance amid President Trump's policies to revise U.S. manufacturing. The average weekly paycheck for a non-supervisory durable goods factory worker, that's non-supervisory durable goods
should have been a sentence you gave to me,
is up 7.4%, according to data. Hourly pay is up 5.3%, and the average work week has expanded, particularly due to rising overtime. And that's without inflation. Pay growth continued in May. Hourly wages rose 0.4%, and weekly wages climbed 0.6%. Real durable goods output grew at an annualized rate of 5.8% for the first 3 months of the year. Productivity, the amount of goods produced for an hour of work, rose at a 5.5% annualized rate in the first quarter, and that's because Trump is giving a green light to AI technology and not hampering it. Although inflation is high, factory worker pay is rising significantly faster than prices. After adjusting for inflation using the April Consumer Price Index, the latest available, real weekly pay is up 3.5%, and hourly pay is up 1.5%. The last time real weekly wages were consistently this good was the post-war boom from 1947 to 1969.
Really?
Take-home pay gains are even stronger for many workers because Trump's big, beautiful bill cut taxes on overtime.
Now, really, 3%, it doesn't seem like a lot of money.
Oh, that's per month.
How does that, 3% is 3%. $1 is 3 cents.
Yeah, it's 3% year on year for the month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, but look,
just going up alone is a positive that it's going up, not
going
down.
up faster than inflation is enormous, enormously positive.
Great.
And it's causing the Democratic map of prospective victories to collapse. And this is, I guess, the key point. Apart from the economy, which gives you short-term indications as to what's going to happen in the midterms, from 20 to 25, 5-year period, Texas gained 2.56 million people. Florida gained 1.92 million. North Carolina gained 756,000. Georgia gained 589,000. Arizona, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, Washington State all grew substantially as well. So all those red states have grown significantly. Meantime, the old blue-collar pillars still finished underwater or badly lagged the red state boom. New York, over the 4-year period, lost more than 200,000 people. California, more than 200,000. Illinois, 100,000.
It's what they're losing. People
So
walking
Texas
away.
and Florida alone gained 5 million people.
Wow.
New York, California, and Illinois together lost 500,000 people. In other words, even after Biden's open borders flooded blue state sanctuary cities with masses of illegal immigrants, the map just kept on running south.
Yeah,
and
they are literally
and
running
style
south.
Socialism to California, the wealth tax on the left just keeps pouring gasoline on the fire. So,
but Hochul called everyone and asked them to please come back.
Yeah, but look at this from a national point of view. The Democratic Party started out with a big advantage in the House of Representatives.
When?
At the very beginning of the country, because slaves were counted and then illegal immigrants are counted. And that gives the Democrats a big advantage going into it. Then that advantage began to fray away. The Supreme Court said that you may not count. Race in doing reapportionment.
This is recent, just this year. Yeah.
And now the population shift from the red states to the blue states from the blue states to the red states is enormous.
Right. But we don't see that yet. They didn't reapportion yet.
No, but we see the population data that will be based on. And when the reapportionment comes on in next year, the effect will be enormous. You're talking about millions of people moving from Democratic states to Republican states, and the effect will be huge in reapportionment. You combine that with not being able to overcount black people, that is not being able to reapportion based on race, which they now can't do. And you combine that with the underlying trend of the economy doing so well. Trump is in fabulous shape as we approach the midterms. And more importantly, the Republican Party has a permanent advantage. I think that after the reapportionment is finished, after the court decision is taken account, after we finish all the redistricting, The Republican edge over the Democrats will make the House permanently Republican. And that will mean that both houses will be Republican.
The Democrats are going to have to up their game to ever get back in the game, to get back in the game.
Well, if they can, yeah.
But let me ask you, I'm looking at that chart with New York lost 200,000. That's the whole state, but is it mostly New York City?
Oh, it's almost all New York City.
I would think, right.
No, but upstate lost too, because there was no fracking. And
right.
And
oh, yeah, right. So that, I think, if I remember correctly, they lost like 20,000 jobs.
Yeah, huge
number, maybe 30.
For decades, Democrats have been protected by a map that inflated their strength. Racial gerrymandering spotted them dozens of deliberately non-competitive seats. Illegal immigration padded the population counts, and thus both House seats and electoral votes of the states of their own citizens are fleeing. On top of that, the 2020 census shorted red states and inflated blue ones. That's three huge systemic cheats that are all cracking all at once. And it gets even worse. As America moves south, west, and right, the 2030 census is going to be ugly for blue states.
Plus, Trumponomics is starting to come up, and that's starting to work out.
It's working so well. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, manufacturing expanded for fifth consecutive month. The ISM and Manufacturing Index breached the magic 50 mark for the fifth straight month.
What's the magic 50 mark mean?
Signaling expansion. That's a measurement of how optimistic the factories are and their production orders are. And
50% better? Is that what that means?
No, 50 means it's average. And 54, the current level, means it's going up.
Got it. Okay.
Joe Biden drove a manufacturing offshore. Donald Trump is bringing it back. Put the Trumponomics policies of tough tariffs, pro-investment tax policy together, and the boardroom math changes overnight. This is how you rebuild an industrial base. You don't beg companies to come home like Hochul's doing. You change the economics so coming home becomes the rational decision.
That's the most important thing right there. You change the economics so coming home becomes the rational decision. It's the smart move.
Right.
That was so important, that one line.
So remember back last year, we were so focused on getting the Trump tax cuts passed and getting them passed early so that they would affect the midterm elections. And we succeeded in doing that. And you're now seeing the impact. Even with an oil embargo, even with the negatives of the gas price increase, you have tremendous economic growth and tremendous economic activity. It's kind of like gas prices are up, but who gives a damn? And the ability of the economy to continue to grow without hampering because of the tax cuts is enormous.
Well, I think it's important, the gasoline. People do care, but they see that that's going to go down. And
they see it's relatively minor compared to everything else.
And compared to everything else, we're going to be
and their wages are going up a hell of a lot faster than gas prices.
But not that as much as we're going to be in a safer world. And people really believe that.
Right.
That's the most important. I'll spend the extra $20 for a tank of gas more if I know I'm going to survive to drive that full tank of gas.
Got that
you know what I mean? The latest date from the BLS show is only 35% of teenagers are working or looking for a job, down from 50%. And moreover, the last 40 years, unbelievable. Summer jobs were once a staple of the teenage experience, but this season's teen hiring total is expected to hit its lowest levels in decades. Sure, why should you get a job? They sit home and play the thing and get free stuff. And, well, I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go out and work. My father would have punched me in the back of the head if I didn't go out and get a paper out at 12 years old. Outplacement firm challenger, Gray and Christmas Projects teens will gain almost 800,000 jobs between May and July, the lowest summer hiring total for 16 to 19-year-olds since the Bureau of Labor Statistics began. Inflation and rising fuel costs are squeezing the same households and small business that they're not hiring kids to do their stuff and whatnot, you know. For comparison, the average since 2013 has been around 1.3 million, according to the Challenger, kids getting jobs
and
in the
that's as
summer.
opposed to about 800,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The labor force participate rate for people ages 16 to 19, the share of the population either employed or actively looking for work was 35%. Wow. In July of 25. That's in line with a decade ago, but down significantly from nearly 60% in the late 70s. This is not so great. In New York City, applications for why would they want to go to work, people in New York City? The application for the summer youth employment has topped last year's record of 200,000 people competing for 100,000 openings.
Yeah, but this isn't a sign of economic weakness.
No way.
This is a sign of people saying, screw it.
No, people's weakness.
Yeah.
Kids
This
being
is
weak.
kids deciding not to work.
Right, because they're lazy little
Not
bastards.
entering the labor force, exactly.
Right, and
And
you get
the
kicked
more
in the ass.
And the more
once
your
in a while.
benefits increase, the less likely the people are to work.
You ever you hear Sebastian, the comedy guy? He's funny. The Italian last name, Manicalsco, something like that, right? He goes, everyone's out. They go after college. They go and they I got to find myself. I'm going to Europe. My father kicked me in the back. You find yourself. You're there. Look in the mirror. You see you? When I was 10 years old, my father says, get a job. What are you doing? Yeah, I was an altar boy.
Yeah. Well, it's changing. And it's changing because the basic economy is changing. Okay, Governor Hochul is giving us a tremendous present that Doug here really appreciates.
New York's Democratic governor signed legislation Wednesday authorizing authorities to make drivers with dangerous number of speeding violations install speed limiting devices. Listen, I got to be one of those, right, Dick? But I got to tell you, after we finish this, Democratic New York Hochul legislation will allow the pilot program to target so-called super speeders. I used to be speed racer, now I'm super speeder in New York City, with the potential to expand into other parts of the state. WABC reported, that's what we reported. Drivers with 16 or more speeding violations in 1 year period qualify for this designation and must install an intelligent speed assistant device in their vehicle. But listen, you used to get 6 points or 8 points on your license, and they just took your license away. So this is a little extra, you just took a drive. And I got another thing. Yeah, I got a lot of tickets, but you notice lately I do not get any. Number one, I don't drive as much. Plus, I'm careful. This isn't the worst thing in the world because a lot of crazy people out there speeding through the city, and we got to watch out we don't get killed. And it's going to slow people down. It's going to give them the ignition. I normally wouldn't like this.
When you combine this with the other stuff they're doing to New York City,
right,
it makes it very hard to live here.
Listen, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and pick the story up.